Hello everyone, this is Michelle Stelling with the National Association of Digital Scrapbookers, and in today's Q&A Tuesday, Ashley from she's not from Pennsylvania, she's from Florida, asks how do you do those out of bounds through the guided section. So it's really fairly easy. All you do is you have to go into a different mode than what you're used to. If you're used to going into the expert mode, you're not going to find this guided feature. So let's go ahead and start from scratch, and then we will go through it step by step. So I'm just going to go ahead and close out of this and reopen it. And normally what happens is you are in this expert mode. So this expert will be highlighted, it will be dark. So I'm just going to go ahead and pull up one of these photos. Let's just do this one here, since I know for sure that we can work with this one. And the thing that you want to do is you want to think about what do you want to pop out of your frame, pretty much. So it should be maybe an action photo, snowboarders, bikers, ballerinas or cheerleaders would be kind of a cool thing to do with this type of thing. Some kind of even in a car, bringing the front part of it out, but something that's going to pop out of the photo borders. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and click on the guided section. It's not going to give you as many tools as the other expert mode, but in this case you're going to scroll down. On the right hand side you're going to see all the guided features. You're going to scroll down to where it says photo play, and you will see out of bounds is the first one, the first option there. Okay, now here it kind of gives you an idea of what it's going to look like before and after, so you have a visual. And you go step by step basically. So I'm going to click on add frame. Let's go ahead and add a frame for you, but you're going to probably want to alter that. So take it from these little nodes here and kind of pull it in to where you want your frame to be. So I kind of want it to be a little bit long. Maybe his feet are going to come out at the bottom. I don't know. I wanted his bat to come out for sure, so let's just pull that out. And for sake of it being a little bit easier and not taking as much time, we're going to go ahead and bring his feet in to that inside. And then you click on this little check mark here. And then what I want to do is I want to add a frame around it. So it doesn't really, I don't know if it tells you that. It probably does throughout this here. But you can go in there and make this frame a little bit thicker by just pulling on these little nodes here and making the frame a little bit thicker. Okay, you can make it really thick on one side, or and then you can put some text over there, whatever you choose. I'm just going to make it somewhat equal on each side. When you're done with that, you click on the check mark, and then it says step by step. You click on the selection tool over here to the right, and this is where you're going to come over into your page. You can zoom in if you want to. It might help out if you do zoom in. And by zooming in, you just go into the upper left hand corner, and then you click a couple times. That will zoom you in. And then you have to go back to selection tool because you're going to select. And you can change the size of your brush. Down here it says add and subtract. I'm going to go ahead and click on the new selection here. And then I'm going to click where his bat is. Now sometimes it doesn't get a great selection, so you're going to have to go in there and kind of help it out a little bit. So this is a really bad selection. You can tell it's really bumpy and all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to zoom in just a little bit more. I have to deselect some of this bat because it came out a little bit too far. So I'm going to go back to the negative, the little minus zoom out. Actually, sorry. I'm going to go back to selection tool and then go to the subtract. Okay, so it says subtract down here to the left hand side. I'm going to subtract some of this. Okay, now you can change the refine edges and the brush settings at this point. Whatever yours needs to be. I wish they would give you the option to use like the lasso tool selection, but it doesn't just yet. So I'm going to click on refine edge. You can go to roundness. You can bump up the roundness. That might help out a little bit. It's still really kind of choppy. You can put feather on there. I'm not going to put a feather on there, but remember you can add and subtract from this selection, so you can keep going back and forth. Get in there, subtract this little guy here. It just takes too much of it. This might not be the greatest photo to show this demonstration with, but I'm going to pretend that this is fairly good. Let me just go in there a little bit more. There we go. And then I'm going to go ahead and click out of bounds. Okay, so now let's zoom in there. It's going to be a little bit choppy, but what we could do is we could go back into the quick mode. If you didn't get yours, is probably going to be fine, but this is a little bit more of a little stickler here. But I'm just going to pretend that this is okay, and then we can always go back in and change it a little bit. So let's add gradient to the background. I'm just going to add something really funky. I probably wouldn't do this, but I'm just going to do that. And then I can go in there and I can do a drop shadow on my border effect if I want to. I'm just going to put a large one on there and then click done. Now if I need to, I can go back into the expert mode. This is going to be a little bit more tricky because those of you who are beginners, you may not want to venture in here. But you can go into this masking area and you can subtract or add from this space. So I think you use, the eraser tool. Okay, so I'm just going to go on this layer here and I'm subtracting and I'm getting a little bit more accurate with this selection. Okay, so this is in the expert mode. We had to bounce back over. You normally don't have to do this, but I did want to show you this just in case you needed it. If you made a mistake and went like this, you can always go back and undo it. Okay, so just click on the undo it, and then let's just double click. It's kind of choppy still, but you get the idea. And that's how you create an out of bounds photo. So thanks for joining me, and I hope you like these Q&A Tuesdays. Be sure to like us, and also be sure to leave us suggestions on what you want to see in the future, because we always take our Q&As from our members and our audience. Be sure to go to naods.com to check out our upcoming members-only classes. Thanks for joining me. Bye-bye.